In fourth grade, I had a girl come up to me and go, hey, are those your fake parents, right? What do you do with that at that age? People would come up and shake my dad's hand. My parents are Caucasian and I'm, of course, Chinese and stuff. And people would come up to him and go, hey, thanks for saving him. Thanks for adopting him. That's what I do.
Hey guys, this is Elijah Vargas from the Goalswell podcast. Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Wilson Munsterman. I'm a sophomore at Creighton University, but I'm also an author.
Yeah, so today I want to talk a little bit more about, you being an author and all of that. We've been friends for a little while. We both work at JBlue, the marketing agency practicum through Creighton University. And that's kind of where I met you. And we kind of hit it off. We've been talking for a little bit. Slid into the DMs,
I did. Was it that me? Did I slide into your DMs one time going like, hey, this looks real good? Something like that? I think I did slide in your DMs.
Yeah, I think you did. I think you just texted me. I forgot what it was all about, but
yeah, it was when you partnered with Daryl and you're like, hey, he's a woodworker, he makes pens. I'm like, yo, here's an idea. I'm an author.
Oh, yeah.
I need pens to sign books with.
That's how it happened.
Make it up. Yep.
It literally was slid up.
Because of Daryl. Shout out Daryl, please.
Shout out Daryl.
Insert Village Woodworking.
Shout out Village Woodworking. Shout out all my clients. Shout out Barrientos. Shout out everything. Shout out JBlue.
Oh yeah, we're just gonna shout everything out now.
Yeah. So, do you want to talk a little bit about your book and like what drove you to write your book and what it's like being an author?
Yeah, well, each one of those questions is probably going to have a little bit different answer. So
I bet, yeah. So let's start with the first part. For those that don't know, his book's about adoption. So can you kind of like walk us through what your perspective was that drove you into writing a book?
Yeah, so I'm adopted. That's where I got to start the whole story. I was found on a doorstep in China. Ads are in the paper saying, hey, we got a baby boy here. Nobody stepped forward, unable to then, stay in those hospitals, bounced around the orphan system in China. The exact when and where is unknown, as, those probably codes and government isn't up to code. And so, but we do know that at 10 months I was adopted by my parents here in America. And, growing up, not that this is just an adoption thing. I think it's a every person thing, but, there's a lot of doubt of, am I good enough, right? That whole adage of if I wasn't good enough for my birth parents to keep, would I be good enough for anybody? And so that really controlled my life for part of high school, thinking, I could have cured cancer, man. It still wouldn't have been enough. And so just the fact that I kind of realized that, hey, I'm not the only one to ever feel like this. Some things happen, and we can get into those later about what made me turn around my mindset. Instead of looking at what I lost, started looking at what I found. Family, faith, friends, but most of all, opportunity. I couldn't do the things that I'm doing here in China. And so it was really the fact that if I'm able to turn it around, I want to be able to help the next person, because I know that I was never the only one to ever feel that way. Won't be the first one, never certainly going to be the last one to feel that way. So, it all stems from, the book stems from, how do I help somebody else not be defined by their adoption?
So looking at all of that and kind of how you ended that, I want to what kind of perspectives and advice, what kind of experience did you bring to the table that you're putting forward as stuff that adoptees can,
relate to?
Relate to and build off of, you know what I mean?
Yeah, first off, when the book it's in the prologue, it's my favorite chapter. I literally say, hey, these are my life experiences. I'm not trying to span this laterally across all adoption. These are just what's happened in my life and what I've learned. In each chapter, it's about 10, 15 pages. It covers a kind of a scenario in my life, a situation, what I learned, and then how the reader can use it. But one of the things is, in fourth grade, I had a girl come up to me and go, hey, are those your fake parents, right? What do you do with that at that age? People would come up and shake my dad's hand. My parents are Caucasian and I'm, of course, Chinese and stuff. And people would come up to him and go, hey, thanks for saving him. Thanks for adopting him. That's kind of weird. Growing up, could you imagine you're in a store and someone just comes up and shakes your mom's hand going, hey, thanks for saving Elijah, right? You're probably going to go, dude, what the hell? Where's my handshake? And also things of, again, identity issues, right? there's questions. You can look at your mom, right? And you go, that's probably where I got my eyes. That's where I got my nose. I don't have that. And so just kind of those things of lived experiences of, hey, here's what I've learned. And adoption is something that doesn't get talked about. A lot of things that we have in our head about it are from Hollywood. Those the Blind Side, Annie, the Happy-Go-Lucky stories. Batman. But I'm going to start using that now, actually. That's a great example. But it's a lot more, not that it's not great, but there's a lot more unseen things that don't get shown in those. So my book is really about how do we challenge those perceptions about what you might think and then just broaden your horizon.
Yeah. And I think that's really important because we have our, like you said, we have our preconceived notions, perceptions, but like hearing it and seeing it from like somebody that's actually been in those shoes is a lot different because like I know, like I told you that this was a while back. I was like, I have a couple friends that are adopted, and I was like, maybe I should give them your book just to like see what they think. And you're like, dude, that might not come off the way that you think it would, just because it's kind of like saying, you're my one like black friend, and here's a book written by a black person. Like it just doesn't come out the way that you think it would.
Yeah, no, it's always funny. It's always those things where it's like, it's the nicest thought ever, and it's true thought, but I mean, emotion. There's something about about the book and about adoption. It's so emotional.
Yeah,
right? And we're all very prideful. I don't think you'd want to get a book from somebody else going, "Hey, here's this guy. He also has a podcast. Here's his book about how to run a podcast." Now, would you probably listen to that book too much?
Right. Maybe. I mean, I'd be a little like,
you're a little hesitant, right?
Bro, I already know. Like, come on,
right? So that's essentially what it is, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, I already know, and so it's truly though like, if I presented the book in front of 10 different people who are adopted, it would have 10 different responses. Yeah. Some would love it because they'd feel heard in the first time. Some would hate it because they would think that, well, his experience isn't true or mine experience is more. Two things can be true at once, and that's something I really had to learn, that it can resonate well with one person and not with the other, but it doesn't make any difference to me. It's just me trying to help the next person.
Yeah. As long as like it's your authentic like perspective, like I think that's what's most important. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's cool because, I was 18, 19-year-old trying to write this book. And, of course, I didn't think it was going to go to where it went and how big it was going to get. But it's just truly about really being my authentic self. How do I get what my story showed me? How do I get that out in the world? Because someone needed to start the conversation. And obviously, from what it's been able to do, the world is ready.
Yeah. So, and I know I sort of asked this already. At what point were you like, I have this interesting perspective, and at what point were you like, I want to write a book about it?
Oh, so that's an easy. I can pinpoint it to the exact moment.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I want to hear.
I was at an event with a mentor of mine, Shannon, and you've met her.
Yeah, right? I met her. Yeah, she's chill.
And it was a Releasing is a local Nebraska agency that helps foster care and provides them with support. And she works there, and I was at an event. I can't remember exactly what it was now, but I was talking to Rochelle, is the lady's name, and she has got a daughter named Lily who was about 9 from Japan, I believe. And, of course, they saw, hey, Asian adoptees, y'all should be friends. And so we got introduced and stuff. And talking to Rochelle, her mom, she goes, she's coming up to the age 9 or 10, 11, where those questions are becoming real. Why did it happen? What's my story? Was it something I did? And the mom says something like, I'm glad I have my background in adoption, because if I didn't, I wouldn't know how to answer these questions. And that really sat with me. It was so true. It was the fact that, a lot of people who adopt, they don't think about, hey, what are those notions? What are the things that I have to really think about? Because it's most of the time the story is, hey, I can't have kids naturally, but I got a lot of love to give. I got a lot of room in my house, and I want to become a parent. And so it's nothing against those parents, it's nothing against those people. It's no malicious intent at all. But it's, how are you supposed to relate to an event if you've never been through it? So this book, I'll probably say one of the times, this book is for XYZ. It's for everybody, man. It's for adoptees to be understood, parents to understand their children and learn a little bit more, for the public to gain a better insight. It's truly a book where I think everybody can take at least one thing away. Yeah.
So building off of that, I know you said you wrote it like when you were like, what, 19?
Yeah, 19. Yeah.
So writing it at 19, at what point did you start seeing that success start coming in?
Man, I always love this question, right? I kind of feel like I'm, Elton John, there's a clip out there where he gets asked, did you ever think that Tiny Dancer would have become a big hit? And I kind of feel that similarity of, I never knew it was going to become a big book.
Yeah.
Right. I self-published it. And for those of you who don't know, self-publishing means you do it all on your own. You don't have a marketing team. You don't have an editing team. You don't have anybody to really help you. I had people I could go to and talk to and who wrote books and give me guidance. But the publishers wanted thousands of dollars. And, being a broke college kid, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
And so it was published it March 28th, 2025. And it was later that week, that first week of April, I get a notification from Amazon going, hey, your book is a number one new release on Amazon.
That's insane.
And so that really blew my mind,
Yeah.
making that post. And for me, the weight was lifted off because I was, okay, now I'm done. The book's got done. I don't have to do any more work. Little be known, that was when the work was really just getting started about how to promote it and stuff. So it was after that initial, hey, your book's the number one new release on Amazon, that I went, oh crap, I better probably lean into this.
So I'm kind of curious about that because a lot of times success doesn't happen on accident.
Mm-hmm.
And when you say like you just kind of got a notification,
Mm-hmm.
so were you promoting it a lot before that? Or
No.
was it just literally like, I'm done with that. It's on the side, and boom, like it's the next big thing. Like
it was, I know, if I had to do it again, I'd probably do marketing. But it was 3 days before I posted a little Instagram story of saying like all the chapter titles, going, hey, by the way, guys, I'm writing a book. And the day before, I posted a video of me. I think it was showing the cover of it.
Yeah.
And then boom, it was out. And then boom, it got a number one new release. So
and you said how long ago after the publishing was this like number one new release?
About a week.
Whoa.
Yeah. So it was.
And so like people were ordering it. People were, because it's on Amazon, right? Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have like a digital copy? Audiobook copy?
Not an audio book or a digital copy right now.
Okay.
We're just doing physical books. It's kind of more old school thing in me.
Yeah.
But I think, maybe we can get an audiobook sometime soon. I just gotta have to find the time to do that.
Dude, yeah. I would. I'm like illiterate, super illiterate. I can't read anything, and that would help me.
Maybe we could do that next year for J Blue. Every time we meet, I can just read a chapter. We have story time.
If you need me to read it,
I'd love to hear you.
Put me in front of Mike, and I'll read a book front to back.
I think we could do that.
What am I getting myself into?
I think we're gonna actually have to do that.
Like
now,
that's
right?
just a bad idea.
Marked by Adoption audiobook read by Elijah Vargas. I think I said one of the chapters. I was a Chinese-born male into an American household. And just hearing those words come from your mouth.
I was a Chinese-born male.
Great, yeah.
Adopted.
Oh yeah, and we needed to get some visual clips to really confuse the readers.
Oh man,
that'd be magical. Man. Take you up on that.
That would be so funny.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Dude, yeah. I just want to see like the comments under that.
Oh man, it'd go viral though.
Yeah, it would. It would.
Far,
have you seen those clips of like it's a podcast? They have like this Indian guy and this white guy, but the Indian guy has like a American accent and the white guy has like an Indian accent, and they're just talking back and forth, and it's like it doesn't make
it doesn't make any sense in your head. But
Yeah.
I think that's what goes viral these days. And
Yeah.
you add a little clip below it of people playing, Minecraft or Run 3. Just how much stimulation can you get in our brains at once?
Do you know the Matan podcast?
I don't.
Like he's like that younger kid, with like longer like dark hair. He kind of just. The whole thing is chaos. His whole podcast is chaos. It's kind of like the Eric Andre show in that way, where he'll have on like Rampage Jackson or like Togi.
Oh, yeah. I think I know you.
Yeah. And there'd just be like a third guy sitting in there doing whatever. And then like the table will just get up and walk away. Stuff like that. Like just really random.
The most random chaos, but that's what sells.
Yeah.
And stuff.
It really does.
So yeah, no, that's why for me, I think doing what the book has done, it is probably, as I'd say.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it back.
Yeah, no worries.
I was going off.
It's the least chaos thing ever, A kid writing a book about experience. That's not chaos, but it did really well, and you don't expect that in today's world,
Yeah.
I think we have these notions of either the world's chaotic and you need to keep up with the chaos, or you can pause it and bring it back to kind of originality and have that kind of authenticity that we were talking about before the show.
Yeah.
I think that's what really.
So in like this chaotic world, and obviously like everybody's attention spans just plummeting.
Yep.
With all of that, deciding to write a book, that's something that's very intentional and very like you have to focus on it for a long period of time. What kind of helped you to do that?
So, I mean, I got a whole page of just ideas of, because I knew I wanted to do something, you know, really balance that educational thing that parents don't have anymore or don't have right now. You know, there's a lot of great books out there. Hey, here of other stories, but there wasn't really something that I could truly find that said, hey, here's a story of my life, credibility, but then how you can apply it, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was, you know, I was thinking about, do I start a YouTube channel? Do I start a blog? You know, and this is me going in my, you know, freshman year of college. You know, the ideas of, do I start a podcast? Then I realized, hold on, I'm gonna have to do a lot of upkeep. And if there's one thing that I've learned that you don't want to do in today's world is say something on the internet that's recorded, because you can never take it back. The world does not let you change your mind. And so for me, it was, okay, well, what's something that I can work on really in the summer, have it be done, and then sit back and watch it grow. And for me, it was a book was the example. And of course, you know, being born in 06, you know that people's brains are quicker and faster and can't focus. You know, there's no as I was always telling people, there's no faster way to turn somebody off and say, hey, would you like to read a book? It's 2026. You know, no one wants to do that.
Yeah.
So it was intentional. The way I wrote it, I wanted super big print so people didn't feel like they had to focus.
Dude, that's the first thing I noticed about your book.
It was big print, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't feel like you were reading it. You just felt like you were glazing it over. So that was done pretty intentionally.
Yeah, that's good.
The quick 10 chapters, people don't like focusing, but they love feeling accomplished.
Yeah.
And so it's after 10 chapters, which is about 20 minutes of your time. If you can say you read one chapter, you're more likely to go, oh, well, maybe I could read another one, you know, especially if you're drawn in. It was done intentionally.
I like that writing style.
It was done to do a quick afternoon read where you can feel accomplished after reading it. That's the goal. And, you know, I don't think anyone could sit down anymore and really read books like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
No matter how incredible they are.
I don't know how I was able to do that as a kid.
The attention span of now of everybody.
Yeah.
It's a lost cause, I think.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. It really sucks though, because I feel like the older generation, that's all it was about. And now it's like, if you want to gain knowledge, you have to like listen to podcasts. You have to like watch these like, I don't know, YouTube videos, tutorials, stuff like that. But back then it was literally like, oh, I just sat down and read the Odyssey. What's it called? The Iliad.
Odyssey,
yeah. And like now it's just not like that anymore.
Yeah, no. My thing is, I'm not so worried right now about how it gets. I'm just happy that the knowledge is getting transferred in some way.
And I totally agree with that. I totally do.
Yeah, no, that was a fun challenge to write a book in 2026. Because truly, I took everything under account. I mean, we could even talk about the naming. The naming took about a week process. The title cover took about a week.
What other names kind of came to mind when you were trying to come up with a name for your book?
Man, it's a fun thing is, you know, when people think you write a book, they think, okay, you title first, right? And then you write it. No, it's completely opposite. You write what you can and you edit it. I mean, man, there were some nights where I'd write a chapter, read 10 to 20 pages and delete it all the next day because I realized I didn't like it. It's truly organized chaos. And the title is something that just naturally comes to you. I think every author out there realized that when you know, and, you know, for a while I didn't know. There were times where I thought about doing the Latin version of Marked by Adoption.
Yeah.
Which is like adopting. I couldn't pronounce it, but it looked really cool because that's how I got told, you know, if it's in Latin, it looks really cool. There were things of the book subtitle was going to be the title for a long time. It was going to be 10 key insights from an adoptee's perspective. That was going to be the title.
And that was going to, yeah.
And then I said, well, that's a pretty big mouthful to say.
And that also kind of just sounds like a textbook almost.
Yeah, it doesn't sound interesting. And so I needed a pull factor. And so I think it was, we were looking at book titles because, you know, there's no other book called Marked by something really. It's not out there. And so we were just looking at book titles. And I was telling someone, you know, I want to showcase how this doesn't get talked about. You know, I want to show people how their lives been really marked by adoption and stuff. And that really stuck with me. All of a sudden, boom, that's what it was. Those 3 words, marked by adoption. And then I said, well, the title, I kind of like that 10 key insights, you know, 10 insights. So let's use that as a subtitle. And then it was very strategic. You know, you see 10 key insights. It was just going to be insights. But if I added key in there, now it seems more, you know, right. From an adoptee's perspective, in 4 words, I gave myself credibility of being an author who was also adopted. So, it wasn't from an outside perspective. It was from someone who's lived their experience. And so the title, and then especially the cover, right? It looks educational. It's got. I wanted to do that because if I put a picture of myself in there, as adorable as I was, it probably wouldn't have sold too much. Why is this baby on here? But because it looks educational, you're now more likely psychologically to take it worth 2 cents and go, okay, well, there's some information here I want to know.
It feels like more credible, right?
Yeah, it's cool. There's a lot more that goes into writing and doing a book than people really give credit for.
Yeah, and like, I know you kind of talked about your mentor and all of that. What role did she play in like how much like your book and like writing it? Did she have any tips that like really just was like, oh, okay, like that's what I should do?
Yeah, I mean, she's the one who really got me started into adoption work, right? When I was 17, she invited.
What's her, sorry, just curiosity. Does she have any experience with adoption?
Yeah, she adopted her oldest kid.
Okay. Okay, that's why.
And so that's why she's a huge adoption an advocate herself, and just met through various things through, schools, and went to school with her kids and stuff. And so she met through that. And she invited me to testify on a resolution when I was 17 to help showcase the lack of adoption support and foster care support in the state. And one of the senators, I can't remember her name, she comes up to me and she goes, hey, you had a lot of I wishes, a lot of I wants in your speech. Let's turn those into I wills. Don't wait for the government to create change. And that really stuck with me. And so then life happened. And then all of a sudden I kind of came to her one day and said, hey, look, I'm going to write a book. She probably thought I was a little crazy, but again, never showed it, just supported me. And I mean, man, I probably texted her 100 times throughout the process going, what the hell am I doing? Why me? What the hell is this? I don't like this. How's this chapter? How's that? So I was blowing her phone up all hours, just freaking out about it, but she never even showed any case. She just goes, yep, you can do it. I know you can. She had faith in me. Yeah. And it's that thing of, I love how we like to take credit for things in our life, right? Like, I can say, I had that belief in myself. You had the belief in this podcast. Yeah. I would probably argue against that now, saying that it's never the belief we have in ourselves that kicks everything off. It's the belief that somebody else has in us. Yeah. In all those big comeback stories, it's, I had an encounter with God. Someone from a prison cell told me, hey, man, you shouldn't be here. Hey, man, you should be doing better. Hey, man, let's do this. Yeah. Right. So it's always the belief somebody else has in you that sparks that belief in yourself. And so the fact that she sparked that belief in myself that I could do this, I mean, that's the role she played. She really got the kind of motor running and then kept it going for me to really get this book out there.
I feel like that's huge. Like with my friend Connor that ran the 100 miles all week, I was like, dude, I can't believe you're going to run 100 miles. And he's like, dude, this isn't just what I'm doing. Like, it's all the support I've gotten from you and everybody else. Like, it's to him, it's almost like a team, like a group. Like the group motivated him, and he just wants to like give back by doing this humongous feat. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like at the end of the day, he was like, "Thank you guys so much. Like I literally couldn't have done any of this without you," and like all of that. I'm like, dude, like that's like I love how humble that like doing like what you're doing and with all of that and how you're recognizing that. And what he did and how he's recognized. I love the humbleness. Yeah. So genuinely. Let's hold on to that thought. Let's bring that around because I'm going to drop some knowledge about that all. Let's bring that back around. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. After the, whatever we get to talking to now about what I think you want to cover what the book's done. Yeah. Really so talked around that. Yeah. Let's look at like some of the like things that is accomplished. Yeah. So what? It was in the first week. It was a number 1 new release. Then after a couple months, it's appeared on 15, 20 something podcasts, some worldwide, some recognized nationally. It's been sold worldwide in countries. What else? I forget because it's done more than I thought it could. It was in February, late February, is accepted to the Library of Congress. And then later that month, we had a legislative resolution be introduced in Nebraska by Senator Rita Sanders, District 45. She brought in that resolution to recognize all it's done. It's been shared by
nationwide clinics. You know, it just got a little notification the other day of, hey, here's the top 10 books we think adoptive parents should read from, I think it's Beyond the Home Study or something like that. And Step Ahead Adoption Family Services. There's just so many. It's gotten, hey, here's featured in articles to parents. It's been featured articles certainly at Creighton. I'm sure you've seen the book around LinkedIn and stuff. And so it's just, it's given me an opportunity, though. I think the biggest thing is giving me an opportunity to bridge gaps that were previously not, walk and stuff. I've had 2 professors go, hey, I didn't know you adopted. I adopted too. And, they've known each other for
huge.
15, 20 years, man. Yeah. Again, that just shows, it's something that really doesn't get talked about. But when you do, it goes, hey, well, that's another thing we have in common. And so, yeah, it's done more than I probably thought it ever could. From especially self-publishing to under a year, not too many people can say they had a #1 new release worldwide, Library of Congress Select, legislatively recognized book.
Yeah.
And so for me, all that, it's just an incredible feeling. Words can't truly describe it.
Yeah. So with all of that success now, right? I know talking to you myself, you mentioned that you're starting up writing another book. Is it because of that success, or is it like now you want to present this new perspective of like being an accomplished author of the book and like building off of like all of that? Is it just sorry, that's not even a question. Can you kind of talk about what you're gonna cover in this new book? I guess that's what I'm getting at.
The second book is going to cover everything of what this journey's taught me. So you really led up to that part with that first question. There's a lot of things I wish people would have given me a heads up about. As I like to say, it's essentially going to be the unseen things that success brings, right? We have this whole motto in the world of success. When I get the world famous this, when I get the big job. But there's a lot of things that people don't think about, right? Some of the biggest things I've learned is, it's the whole, I say, finished lawn theory. You ever mow a yard on a hot summer day and you just cussing yourself out and you just hate it and it's gross. You don't want to stand there. You're getting sweaty. Yeah. But then after it's done, about 2 hours later, then everyone comes over, right? And everyone's going, oh man, Elijah, that yard looks great. It looks awesome. I wish my yard was like that, praising you because they see the end of the journey. But what are you telling yourself in your head? You're telling yourself it was hot, it was gross. Why did I start that? And that's something that really I relate to now with the book. Everyone sees the success, the final results, but it neglects how hard it was to start, how much time, how much effort.
How many times you just wanted to like quit? I'm not going to write this book.
Yeah, and so I think that's something I'm going to talk about in this new book, and that's a good life lesson. I think for me, it's people see the success, they forget to see the grind. As I say, is people love to join you when you're up, right? Or so but don't probably want to join you when you're on that grind up.
Yeah, that's facts. That's fully facts. Yeah.
What other things? Measuring support. That was a big thing, right? I'm sure that with your podcast, right? I'm sure when you launched it and stuff, you're like, okay, well, so and so people will support me, so and so people won't support me, and that's how it was in your head. And I promise you, it didn't play out that way. You go, oh, so why didn't they support me? But then why are these people supporting me? Yeah. It's something that you truly can't measure. You're going to find it in places where you never thought you could, and you're not going to find it in places where you could have bet money on that you would. And so it's something that, it's realizing that sadly, I'm not the center of everyone else's world, and understanding that the people who do take time to support me, I'm not going to take it for granted, because it's an honor to be on someone else's mind of how much stuff we have in the world and how much crazy it is. So I just take all those things not for granted and take it to really heart and appreciation.
Yeah. Yeah. And so with, I'm really trying to think of like a good question for you to be completely honest. Oh, yeah. With all of the success of the book, where do you like, I guess where do you see yourself in, like, let's say like 5 years? And I'm assuming in like 5 years you're definitely gonna have that second book out by then. Where do you see yourself, like, out of college and all of that?
I mean, that's a big question mark, right? As I always like to say, as I've always gotten that question, where do you see yourself, especially get it after high school? Like, what are you gonna do with your life?
Yeah, now it's college.
Yeah, time's flying by. But it was funny because it was, after high school, I never knew I was going to write a book. It just happened. And so for the same way I answered those questions that I'm going to answer now is I see myself helping people. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know what it's going to be, but that's where my goal is, you know. And I always like to say that God has the map of my life. I'm just sitting in the captain's chair and we're on autopilot. It doesn't mean I'm not going to, you know, adjust and still, you know, be able to get things out of my way, or I'm going to, you know, face challenges. But it's truly, I'm with you, is I can't wait to see what I'm going to do next, because I know it's out of my control. It's in my control, but out of my control. And I think people really understand what that means.
Yeah. And I think that's important to notice, because like a lot of people stress out, anxiety, like, oh my gosh, like what's going to happen? What if everything goes wrong? And I know a lot of people like that. I'm like that sometimes, but it's important to just like step back and be like, okay, like it's going to work out.
The sky won't fall. If the sky won't fall when bigger things have occurred,
yeah,
the sky won't fall when I'm pretty sure the little things will happen.
Yeah.
Right. And it's one of those things where it's okay. We look so far ahead in the world, right? I'm sure, you know, I can remember I was grown up, right? You were grown up, right? You wanted recess. You wanted to be older. Now that we're this age, all we want to do is just to be that little kid again.
Yeah,
and
that's facts.
And so it's a fact that we're so focused on the future, we kind of forget to think about the present and take a look around.
And like I was telling my friend a while back, like childhood feels like a waiting room to be an adult.
Oh.
And once you get, it's like the most fun waiting room of all time. And then once you become an adult, it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I should have spent more time in that waiting room.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to go back a little bit. And, you know, I don't know if it's, you know, I still feel like I have the little kid inside me, right? I still watch the cartoons. I still have the Legos. Stuff like that.
Still watch that Avatar movie.
Oh, yeah. But I think there's something about, you know, we're more aware of things going wrong. And we're, you know, the reality of what, quote unquote, what's possible has set in. And so we forget all about that childhood, you know, oh, I can do this, I can do whatever I want. So we I think as adults, we lose that childhood kind of freedom and wishes that we had.
I feel like as a kid, everybody, like if you ask them what they wanted to be as an adult, everybody was like, oh, I want to be like a millionaire. Oh, I want to be an athlete. I want to, let's say like I want to have a YouTube channel. And then now it's like, oh, I want to work on cars. I want to be a doctor. I want to like it. I feel like it just kind of all. I mean, I don't want to say it's sad, but like, you know, your dreams, like where did the dreams go? Yeah, it's kind of like
And so no, that's something about growing up, and I've always still tried to remain the kid at heart as I can.
And hey, like props to you, man, because like as a kid, I doubt you were ever like I want to be an author.
No, not at all. I if I had any dream as a kid, I wanted to be Elvis Presley. That was what my dream was. He was my favorite singer of all
time. To be a
rock
star.
I wanted to be Elvis Presley. Yeah. If there's any way to do it, any genie that could grant me 3 wishes, that's what it's going to be. And so, you know, it's always fun to see the things that, you know, and for every case I think there is in the world, there's always a case that there isn't, right?
Yeah.
So the same way that people, in the same way people accomplish things that weren't their dreams, right? In a bad way, I can say I accomplished things that weren't my dreams in a good way. You know, I never thought I was going to be an author. I never thought I'd be on the path I am right now, but it's the one that God
You're still
had
happy
for me.
with it?
Still, absolutely, yeah. That also kind of thing I think segues and brings up, right? I think everyone today in the world is so afraid of being wrong and hearing no. You know, I don't know if it was because my parents were a little bit older, had a little more old school kind of parenting, but it was, you know, you might as well ask for forgiveness and not for permission. You know, it's better to say something than not say anything at all. Just kind of, you know, it's okay to make a mistake, because I think in the mistakes you make, you'll learn and you can carry it going forward. Yeah.
So building off of that, with your book, looking at your book and how it did, is there anything you would change?
Absolutely, man. I would change so many things. I know for one, I'd probably change, there's things I don't talk about, right? I talk about the 10 things I think the world should know, but just growing older and realizing it, I would have probably talked in a couple of other topics of, you know, name changes, right?
Yeah.
You know, what do we do about those? Or, you know, what are my 2 cents on those? How costly it is.
Like define like name changes.
So name changes is like essentially of the birth parents or, you know, the country they come from gives them a name. Right?
Yeah.
And they
that's what I thought you were talking about. Okay, yeah.
And so, you know, I've had a couple names in my life, right? But I'm proud to have the one.
Let's hear them.
yeah, so the Chinese one we had, they gave me, it was like the Providence in the hospital. So it wasn't ever really thought. I think it was just the Providence Hospital. That was it.
Yeah.
The one that gave them here, I can't remember what it was, but it was so I can get vaccinated because they didn't believe those vaccinations actually got in China. And of course, I got the one right now is, Wilson Munsterman. And, our names are something that we should have pride in. And so again, I'm not going to judge or cast stones on other people's choices. But I know with my story and mine, I'm very proud to have my name, right?
Yeah.
There's a reason why now you can look up in Nebraska legislation, Munsterman, and my name comes up. And I'm very proud to put that name kind of not on the map, but make it well known because it's my family's name. How costly it is right now. It can cost anywhere from $30,000 to $70,000 for an adoption, right? And those are all sunk costs. For those of you who don't know what a sunk cost, it means when you spend the money, you don't get it back.
Yeah.
And so it can, the birth mother still retains the right to keep the child.
Yeah.
Up to the last second. So let's say you're adopting a baby from me and my wife or whatever, and you spend $30,000 on the home visits, the DNA tests, all the getting ready, and then at the last second she decides, hey, I'm going to keep the baby. You're just out of luck.
The sunk cost.
You're just out of luck right there. And, and it's just a really difficult situation. And, I can't even put myself in either shoes. But, I'd probably talk about that. I also probably talk about adoption in the sense of how it gets grouped by adoption, right? But there's so many different variables, closed or open. Do they know their story? Will they ever know their story? What do we do about different races and families versus non-races, domestic versus international? There's how do we do cross-racial? How do we do cross-cultural?
Yeah.
Because those are different too. What do you do if you get a sibling, right? There's just, it's truly a big group of things that really need to be tackled individually, person by person, but it just gets grouped into the one overhanging umbrella. So I'd probably talk about those other things. And then I think that's about it, just the issues that I didn't talk about. I always wonder, and there's always that thought of, did I talk about everything right?
Yeah.
If I talked about other things differently, would the book have gone bigger?
Yeah.
Would it have gone faster? Would it have helped more people?
Yeah.
There's always that what ifs. But, it's at the end of the day, again, I can't change it. I just got to go. I did what I did with the best I could, what I felt was right at the time, and then kind of rest in the fact that, okay, well, with what it's done, I must have done something right because it wouldn't have gone as far as it has without helping somebody else.
Yeah. So my question now is looking at how your perspective is with everything, and I don't know if we've mentioned it yet, but your parents were both adopted. Mm-hmm. That's correct? Yeah. Okay. Looking at like all of that, would you think about adoption as like when you get older?
Yeah.
And you like assuming like you get married, and would you think about adopting?
Absolutely. That is in the work the life plans. I do absolutely want to adopt.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool to, I'm absolutely
continue the cycle.
Yeah, it's one of those things where
I love that.
There's been a lot of adoption in the family, and so I said, I'm thinking, why not? I think it'd be a wonderful thing to do. And so my heart's definitely set on that.
Pick up another Chinese boy.
Man, what's crazy right now, and let me blow your mind, you can't adopt from China.
Really?
No, not anymore.
At the moment?
They shut it down, yeah.
Well, because
it's all essentially how those leaders get along right now, and there's a lot of scandals that came up with international adoptions. So, I mean, you've even thrown back to my story, right? The one-child policy was going on when I was born. The cultures, you want a healthy male. The fact that I'm a healthy male and, got put up for adoption, that's kind of unheard of.
So that, when you said like you were, like you were reaching that age and you started asking questions, is that something that like really got in your head?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think people in the world, we all don't feel like we're enough sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think adoption just takes that to an 11, right? The people that were supposed to be there by every account, right? You hear these movies and you hear these stories about birth moms looking in the kid's eyes knowing, I'd do anything with that child. That's my baby. And you kind of wonder, and you sit there and go, why not me? What was so wrong about me? And so I think it just takes that self-doubt worth to an 11. But and a lesson that I've learned is, your self-worth is kind of where you put it. For me, it was I wanted to put it in school. That's why I excelled there. I want to put it in friends. I want to put it in family. So just trying to put your worth where you find it and where your time and effort is. And if you do that, you're going to find it in good places.
Yeah. And I feel like that's That's really good. I have two of my friends. I had never met anybody that was like adopted from China until I came to Creighton. And then I feel like,
was that your first friend adopted from China?
Unfortunately not.
We're gonna have to get rid of this podcast now. We're gonna trash it all.
No, you're locked in here with me, like I said. But yeah, my friend Lucy, also adopted from China. She's lives in Colorado. My other friend Haley, she's adopted from China, lived in Hawaii. And then now I met you, adopted from China, living in Omaha.
Yep.
Yeah.
Omaha.
So I don't know, like something about like Creighton just
maybe that should be a question.
because I met all of you guys at Creighton.
Yeah,
like
no,
crazy.
maybe that's a question they now ask the people. Are you adopted from China? And if you do, you're good.
Yeah, apparently just like everybody.
Yeah. I'd wonder what that statistic would truly be. There's also one of those things, like I said, right? Like nobody knows because it doesn't get talked about. How many more friends? I'd probably bet you got about 10 more friends that you never knew.
I'm sure.
Adopted.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
Time to send out a group text.
But I don't know about from China because I don't
Not
know
from
many,
China, but
I don't know many Chinese people, to be completely honest.
Yeah, no, it'd be cool to see if you texted everyone right now in your contacts how many people would truly come forward in that sense.
I know I have a couple like maybe one or two friends that have told me that they're adopted back home, but I don't know about like any more, to be honest.
And here's a cool thing, right? When I told you I was adopted, did that change anything between us, or was it just
not really
cool fact? Like that's kind of what I go for. Is I think the best thing we can do, and especially with anything like this, is recognize, okay, there are certain things, right, that I faced being adopted, but there's things that you've probably faced running a podcast, being who you are. It's just going, okay, that's just another fact. It doesn't change the way I look at people. It's not it's part of me, but doesn't define me.
Yeah, and that's what I hate is like being put in like no
one wants to be put in a box.
Yeah, the defining factor. Like my freshman year, I was known as like the podcast guy.
It's okay. Well, now the podcast guy is on here.
I hated that name so much,
dude.
That I'm like, I do so much more than just have a podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I get called the book guy, or if I meet someone who's, hey, it's the adopted kid, the book guy. Maybe that's
the book guy, dude.
Yeah. I would. Maybe that's can we make that the title of this podcast? Podcast guy, book guy talk.
Oh, we could. I think that's gonna have to be the title. I hate that.
But no, it is one of those things where like doing what we do, people are going to talk. Right?
Yeah,
people are going to. But at the end of the day, man, as long as you know your truth, as we know our truths, and we have our support systems in place, who cares what people say? Life's too short to give a crap about people who don't really support you like that.
Yeah,
not saying that you should become unbiased and think that you're everyone. I certainly don't think I walk on water. But I have people out there that will slap me if I get too full of myself. But for the people who make whispers about the book guy or interest, man, if you really care about somebody else's life that much, you got to find your own damn hobby, because that's a sad way to live.
No, yeah, and I fully agree. Like people that find their ways, weasel their ways into comment sections and just start yapping about all types of stuff. I'm like, come on,
dude, you gotta have something better to do.
There's no way that's like what you spend your time doing.
Yeah, it's
especially if you don't even know them. Because I know I get comments from people I don't even know.
100%, yeah.
Under my reels, and I'm like, dude, like,
what do you get
you're a
that?
grown man with a family.
Yeah, like please, what are you doing?
Come on, you're balding too. Yeah. Like, come on.
It's one of the things like, man, you're just like whatever, And I've learned that,
Yeah.
As much praise and as much success, right? I also got a lot of hate, and I don't really talk about it. But you just go, well, whatever. It's just everyone's got a way, everyone's got a right to think the way they do, but everyone's got a reason to think the way they are thinking. And you just go, well, whatever that reason it is, I wish you well. I hope you're, God bless you, but I don't kind of really need to pay attention to that in my life.
Yeah. And that's the main thing. I feel like you can lash out, you can ignore, but I feel like the best is to just like spread positivity and love.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's like something that like I've had to mature and realize, because like sometimes I just shut down, and then other times like now I mean it that doesn't really accomplish anything. It really doesn't.
Yeah, no, it's just you gotta kind of let it roll like for back. It's truly just gotta, what is it? The Rocky quote, like life will beat you down so much, you just gotta get back up and go. What else? You got? So just
exactly.
That's really about what it's.
I think that's all you can really do, honestly. So I know I keep like starting every question the same way, but with the success of the book, I don't know how much. I mean, I'm sure this played a huge factor. Getting hired to J Blue. What kind of like brought you to be like, ooh, that's what I want to do?
Well, J Blue was an interesting story how I really ended up there. Jenna Robertson has the scholarship I do here, and she kind of emailed me one day going, hey, I'm a part of this J Blue agency. I think you'd be perfect. And it was one of the things where I didn't have any real experience, right? On paper, I had nothing. No internships, and the same way I think you came in, right? You didn't have anything to really show for.
Yeah, as far as like marketing,
marketing wise, no. But we had a lot of, as I call it, blue collar quotations, white collar experience.
Yeah.
And so for me, I kind of showed up there going, hey, I wrote a book. It was a #1 new release. Created a website for it, and the guy who interviewed me really didn't any of the questions. It was just having fun talking about the book, and so it was just with that kind of experience I had on the side, that's what really prompted me to get into J Blue. And I knew it was going to be a challenge, right? For once, and just like with your podcast, for once we weren't answering to ourselves. It wasn't on our time. We had to learn how to navigate clients, how to do things that they want, and especially learn how to take criticism, right? Learning that, okay, if somebody changes something a bunch, it's not because they don't like it, it's because they want to see it in their vision. The same thing I want something to see in my vision. So just understanding those life lessons of, it's not as personal as we all take it. It might just be people just wanting to see it in their own vision, same way we both wanted to do with our projects. And so, J Blue's been a pretty awesome thing. I love my team, shout out Jenna and shout out Mary, and they've been incredible, especially with the things we've had to do this year. I mean, I couldn't ask for probably a better experience.
Honestly, I'm at the same place. I'm like, man, looking back, like I've had the most fun like this entire semester. I haven't had like much school work, but what it's been replaced with is a ton of content creation.
Yep.
And I couldn't have asked for like more fun things to work on, genuinely. Like and then like the people, like I've got Raul in my corner and he's always like supporting me. I've got Gia and I've got Lucy, and both of them are great. Like they're both like, I can ask them anything. Like, how do I do this? How do I do that? And like, what are you coming to this event? And everybody's like, everybody's open. And I just love the support. Like genuinely, like by the end of the semester and then next semester, I'm going to miss Raul. I'm going to miss working like directly with Lucy and Gia. And it's just going to,
the people make the place. And so,
it really does. Like I couldn't have asked for a better group. I couldn't have asked for a better cohort. Like I'm happy to have everybody.
Yeah. I think the especially just within our own little groups, man, those people became family, truly.
Really,
after the year. So it's gonna be hard feeling nostalgic with that coming up.
You say nostalgia, but like that's gonna be huge.
It's gonna be huge.
Yeah,
you ever watch The Office?
No,
so
really.
There's a quote from The Office. It's like, I wish there was a way you knew you were in the good days before you left them, and I'm just feeling that right now.
Dude, that hits hard.
Like, I would love to just work on stuff one more time with these people, listen to music and have fun. And so it's really just about, again, not focusing on the future too much, kind of sitting back and just really savoring and all those mental photos.
I wonder if I could do something like that in the future, just have like work days or like content creation days where
I think that'd be cool. That'd be a cool thing with our team.
I get the group together and be like, hey, like, do you guys want to just pull up to the J Blue room and just crank out a bunch of posts?
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. And, that's an idea I'm probably going to steal with my team, being account manager. We're both account managers. Just, hey, one Friday, let's go for a couple hours, get some pizzas or something. Just try to crank some stuff out. Really foster that bond, I think. Yeah,
and I think, like, it'd also be dope if, like, hey guys, do you guys want to go to, like, Sozo and just...
Yeah, that outside.
Edit. Yeah, because, like, shout out Sozo. I love Sozo so much.
Who's footing that bill? That's my question. Because if you're footing that bill, I might come join your team.
Dude, they have like, bro. I've been to every coffee shop in Omaha. Bit of an exaggeration, I know, but I live right next to the mill. I like the mill. It's very convenient. It's right next to my house. But Sozo's where it's at. I love Sozo and I love Hardy.
Really?
Yeah. Archetype's kind of nice. It's more of like a creator space, in my opinion. Where else is there? Rally's decent. I feel like it's tight space, but they got good stuff there. But dude, Sozo has like this mango Red Bull smoothie. They put protein in it, and I don't know what it is, but it's just delicious.
We might have to go after this shooting.
Dude, I love it so much.
I'd be down to go after the shooting with her dad.
And my problem is like whenever I go to a coffee shop, I gotta try like their sweet like dessert or whatever. So the mill, I'll get like the cinnamon roll and then I'll compare it to the one at Hardy and the one at Sozo, and I think Sozo has the best one.
Yeah, like you got to do that, especially I think like with pizza places, right? When you go to a new pizza place, what type of pizza do you get? Cheese. If they got a good cheese pizza, everything else is gonna be great. Same thing with an ice cream place. What do you get? Vanilla.
Bro, nah.
Dude, you gotta have
You're tripping.
Nah, you gotta have a baseline. Every new ice cream place is what's your vanilla taste like?
Bro.
Because there's different types, bro.
Bro.
Sometimes it's that vanilla bean, regular vanilla, it doesn't taste like anything.
Senti, I know it's not ice cream, it's gelato.
Bro.
But they're like Madagascar vanilla bean is fire.
No, I gotta go cone flour.
Okay, yeah.
Vanilla.
Shout out Charles Sexton.
My favorite worker at cone flour.
Yeah, so they got some crazy flavors there. I know one time I went and I got like this cinnamon toast crunch. I don't know if they still have that, but that was amazing.
Dying on the hill, the sweet cherry tart.
Yeah.
Favorite ice cream. Got the sweetest of the fruit.
Yeah.
Little tart. It's got the crumbly of like whatever the hell they put in there. I think it's like graham crackers, and then it's delicious.
That sounds so good, dude. Yeah, shout out Charles. Yeah, shout out Charles.
If that makes it in the final cut, I'm gonna be dying laughing.
Oh, it will. It's gonna stay. Yeah.
Watch him not work there with his releases.
No, dude. No, I think he's gonna stay there for a while. He was talking to me. He was telling me about like how much they get paid over there, and it's nice.
Yeah.
It's nice. Like he's like, he was telling me he was thinking about getting another job, but he's like, dude, the pay, you can't really.
Well, thanks for that gate kept secret. Now everyone's gonna apply there because of you.
Damn. I might apply there. But bro,
future cone flour employee.
I feel like, okay, dude, I think that, and I've been saying this since like freshman year, I think that Omaha's food scene is so underrated.
Very underrated.
It is insane.
You give me a type of food, I'll tell you the best place to go in Omaha, or one of the best.
It's crazy.
It's great.
Like,
you want Italian, you go to Via Farina. It's delicious. Indian food. You like Indian food?
I do.
Jaipur. They got great Indian food.
What's
there.
the one that's like I forgot what it's called, but it's fire. I know that they catered like the satay, the Sasa event.
Oh,
I forgot what it's called.
Asian cuisine or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, dude, we're gonna have to change that because I will tell you where the real good places are. So we're gonna get you.
He knows.
Okay, I gotta gatekeep those though because I don't want everyone going to there.
Yeah.
But no, Omaha's food scene is so underrated, I think, and it's truly just because we're so diverse. I feel like we're our own little America, and it's good.
It's insane because I tell people like back home, and they're like, dude, Omaha's just white people.
Nah, dude.
And I'm like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Omaha's very diverse, and that's why the food is so bomb.
It's, gosh, like I hate when I go home and people are like, oh, you go to school in Nebraska, you corn husker, there's nothing out there. Like, what do you even do in Omaha?
Yeah,
there's nothing to do in Omaha.
Stuff in Omaha, yeah.
God,
like I'd like to flex on Omaha too, right? We got some big things here.
Yeah.
College World Series.
We have that.
Forgetting of that. The zoo is.
I was gonna say Henry Dorley
right?
Zoo. We have the Luminarium. We have
There's so much stuff to do
dude,
here.
like one of the first times my parents came here, I took them to the Jean Leahy
Mall,
like park, the mall. Like you can walk along there. They've got hammocks. They've got fires. They've got
Art museums. Durham.
It's so nice.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Omaha.
And there's right next to campus we have the what's it called, the Joslin, like the art museum. It's sick.
Yeah, dude, they just redid that too.
Yeah,
there's a lot of stuff in Omaha. What else? There's also some, I think, pretty cool people from Omaha, right?
Yeah. Warren Buffett, the Wilson Munsterman,
Thank you.
Shannon.
That's where just top 1A, 1B situation right there. I think we'll just cut it off. Right.
Yeah, but isn't there? I've never been like. We have like mini golf. Am I tripping? There's like an indoor mini golf.
Yeah,
place.
I think the Fat Putter. It's down.
Yeah, the Fat Putter. Yeah. I still haven't been there, but I want to check it out.
There's if you really like mini golf, we'll go to one. It's called Prehistoric Putt. I don't know.
So is it?
I don't know how big of a dinosaur guy you are, but there are like life-size dinosaurs all over this place.
Yeah.
And so they're like.
Okay, but is it like actual, or is it like the skeletal? Like,
no, dude. There's like full casing, like looks like a dinosaur.
Okay.
So you better believe if I'm babysitting, I'm like, hey, let's go to Prehistoric Putt. You know, gotta blame it on the kid, but a lot of it's like,
bro, just wants to see the dinosaur.
That's a Tyrannosaur production. That's so cool, man. You know, so no, if you ever want to go, I highly recommend Prehistoric Putt.
I went to, what was it called? It's like this bowling alley it's a bowling alley at a bar. And it's like mini pins,
Oh, I'm trying to think.
It's like Champagne out. I forgot what it's called.
Champagne Lanes or something like that.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called.
That's coming back. Like the mini bowling. Dude, I don't know how people do it.
Because I don't drink, but going there was like it was a vibe. Like my friends were all having fun. Like, and obviously I was having fun, but like the balls
dude,
were
I
like,
just don't know how you do that.
The balls were like the size of a softball. Like, it was like, so small.
My hand just encompasses one of those balls, and I just want to throw it so hard.
I was like, can I just?
No. When I bowl, I use like a 13-pound ball, so that's what I'm used to. So I like rip back and just rip it, and no form, no fuss, just down the middle.
Yeah, that's kind of how I bowl. Like first game, just like you said, ripping it, just going crazy with it. But second game, my arm's tired.
Third game, you're just
third game, I'm like,
nah, dude,
I gotta thug it out. Like
fourth game, you're just like, no,
I'm not playing until 4 games.
No.
I'm like, it's over, man.
No. And if I don't bowl good in that first or second game, the third game, there's just no hope.
Yeah.
But my pride won't ever let me go down and wait.
Yeah.
So I don't care if like my arm is falling off. I will always pick up that 13-pound ball.
Dude, I remember like in high school, we would our banquet for wrestling was at a bowling alley, and my friends were messing around like so much, like between the legs, like people would like push each other and like onto the lane. Like it got rowdy, like,
oh yeah,
but it was fun. And then we played pool after. Like, I love pool, dude, but I don't play it enough. I feel like I'm still pretty good though.
We'll go to a couple places. I know we'll play some pool.
Oh yeah,
sometime.
Yeah. Where do they? You know where it has pool? Sozo.
McGloin lobby.
Nah, McGloin basement.
McGloin basement or whatever the lobby. Yeah.
You know what? Cool. You know what else? I'm insane at ping pong.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't want to say like this is a natural thing, but ping pong's always come super natural to me, and I'm not trying to say that. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm not gonna say it out loud, but I mean like I've never actually had to.
I wasn't gonna say it.
We're not gonna say it out here. But we know what we're saying. I've never had to try really to be good at ping pong.
Wait, just that one. Where is it?
Yep. Yeah. Okay. That just seems it's come natural, dude. I can't explain it. Nasty little serve,
dude. I don't.
Does Soza also have ping pong?
No, they don't.
Wow.
Unfortunately, they have a lot of board games though.
I'd be down to go after this.
Dude, we need to bring. That's another thing that Omaha has. We have what's that place called? That we have like a board game lounge.
We do, yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? Oh man,
because it's on that corner. There's no parking around it.
Right next to my house.
Yeah, dude, I love that. I go there a couple times.
I forgot
with
what
friends,
it's called, man.
Rip up some Catan.
But
Spellbound.
Yeah. I've been wanting to go there.
Dude, it's fun. You get to the table, they got coffee, they got food.
Dude, we need to, bro, we need to bring back board games.
I think board games are good. There's nothing more satisfying than slowly beating your opponents in a board game.
Dude.
Like Monopoly.
Well, yeah.
Dude, I will milk it and make you pay and make you give up properties to me. I'll be the most evil tenant.
Dude, what I used to do in Monopoly, this is my strategy, and guys take notes. Let's say I'd go around, and you know how like you could wheel and deal, like be like, oh, like, do you want to trade this property for that? What I would do is I'd be like, hey, I'll buy you a hotel if it's a free space for me.
Oh yeah, you have to just off chartering. Here's my take.
So I would do that, and then by the end of the game, I basically own the whole board.
Here's my hot take with Monopoly. Railroad cars, the spaces get overlooked. There's one on every four corners.
Yeah.
Dude, and once you get like enough of them, I think it's like $200.
Once you got all the infinity stones.
Yeah, so you just start collecting cash like that. And it's one of those things where they can't try to side deal. They can't try to do, you just like, no, that's my money right there.
And those are the ones that like you roll and then it's whatever that times like.
Yeah, something
isn't
like
it?
that. Yeah. So it's like railroad spaces are
Evil.
undefeated right now. Right there. Yeah. Boardwalk is overhyped.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to buy a property for $400 with only 2 chances to land on it.
Yeah.
It's too risk, too reward. I like.
Yeah, but that's also the kill shot.
I like the orange spaces though. The orange places and then like the green are always my money, my go-to money. So okay, let's get you like nice and safe, and then take that next roll, and then boom, you have to owe me a couple $100,000, like a couple thousand.
Dude, I miss that game.
I think that'd be fun. Much. Board game. They need to do board games. I think more.
We need a club. Let's start a club at Creighton, the board game club.
Most likely, there probably already is.
I bet there is. Yeah,
100%, dude. They're gonna watch us.
What other games were there?
Sorry.
Yeah, Sorry's good. I never really played it too much.
I'm trying to think. The Game of Life.
Clue.
I never played it.
Bro. Dude, Clue is so much fun.
Look, we're gonna put some Clue now.
Dude.
Battleship. What you know about Battleship?
Okay, bro? Yeah, Battleship.
I could teach you how to cheat in Battleship every single time. Every single time there's a way to cheat in Battleship.
Yeah. Dude.
What else?
Yeah.
There's the good like chess, checkers,
Operation.
Operations
for kids, bro.
Yeah, dude.
You can't catch me playing Operation now.
I beat you at Operation though.
Okay, but like I like just like basic card games, like like Rummy, like
Rummy, King's Corner.
Yeah, dude, we play like Pass the Trash.
Oh,
that game's so much fun.
You ever played what was it? A War? Where you just ties card wins, shuffle up until someone.
You ever play BS?
Yeah. We have to put
BS,
a card down. You got to call BS.
Yeah. Oh man, I love that.
Those things I think have gone away. It's all about digital now. But I don't think
now it's digital games. So like people be playing like Imposter.
What annoys me is people will like all hop on. We have a game called Catan, right? You never played it? It's a settlement game. People will hop on the computer, play Catan with each other, and we'll have a board game sitting right in the room. Yeah, I'm like, dude, just play together.
It's
literally right there. You don't have to hop on your laptop.
I feel like it's so much fun. Like I don't know. Like last night we were playing Trivia Crack, and I'm like, it's fun. I just like board games.
Board games are OG. I think it's real fun,
dude. Whenever we go to my cousin's house, we spend days playing board games.
Yeah.
Like
and it gets competitive
every single time we go. Like we'll bring a new board game that we just bought. And it's so much fun. They have the deluxe extended edition of exploding kittens,
dude.
and it's got like 5 different game modes. It's so much fun.
One time I had 3 diffusers, 5 cards left, playing with 3 other people, and I lost. Because they all sniffed it out and ganged up on me. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. They're like, oh, we haven't seen those cards in their deck. I wonder who has them.
Yeah.
The guy that has 8 cards.
That's me. Yeah, you can't defend it. So, okay, right. We're gonna take a little pivot from board games, right?
Yeah.
Were you ever like a Beyblade type of dude?
No, but I was like,
Or like
definitely a fidget spinner.
Fidget spinner. What about like you card games for like Pokemon? You ever into that?
No,
Or you a football
unfortunately.
guy?
Not really.
Any cards? Not at all, man.
No, I didn't really collect cards, honestly.
Man, dude, it's great.
You know what I was super into, and this might surprise you. Rainbow Loom. Dude, I was insane.
What is it? I think I still remember how to make like the fishtail. It's like one straight, one X,
Dude, you just massaged a part of my brain. I wasn't expecting.
Well, dude, take the bottom, loop it across, add another one, keep looping it until
He knows exactly.
Yeah.
Dude,
No,
I love that.
because it was so all these other
gosh.
people in class, they had like all like I have the machine. Well, my parents, were like, we're not gonna buy this stupid thing to learn how to do yourself. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do this one the way by hand.
That's how I was doing
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude, I used to make like I would go on like the corners of YouTube and make like the big like so my thing was there was this one account on YouTube that would make like dragons from How to Train Your Dragon.
What the hell?
So I would make full dragons.
That's insane.
Like I made my So I made the. Have you seen the second How to Train Your Dragon? The one with like the Drago.
Yeah.
So he had like that massive dragon, like the wildebeest.
The wildebeest, yeah.
Yeah, I made
Dude,
that.
we could get into
I
some
made
How to Train Your
I
Dragon
made
lore.
that.
That's so insane.
I made that one. I made like this owl. I think I gave it to my ex, but it was like this really nice owl.
That's insane.
I made a bunch of things, but like my prized possession, I gave to my dad for like Father's Day or something. It was like this glove, like it was a full wearable glove.
What the hell, dude?
And it just had like what was that? What did they call that one? Like a starburst or something?
No idea. I know when I was younger, I would always make like little simple like bands that were maybe, like an inch and a half across.
Yeah.
And then take those and make like a bigger one out of the little bands. And I thought I was the coolest kid ever when I was younger.
Yeah, dude. I used to just like invent it.
Dude, I don't think the trends like that happen anymore. Maybe it was because we're old.
Yeah.
But like Rainbow Loom.
The trend is now
fidget spinners.
This is the trend.
Really?
The Neatos.
Or like, did you ever make your fidget cubes, bro?
Yeah.
Dude, fidget cubes were great.
Those are nice. This is my thing now. Like this is my fidget cube right now. Like I love my Neato. Like I just gave it a bath earlier. I had to clean it up because people were saying it was looking kind of gross. But
yeah, you gotta always clean
I always be squishing it around.
Soak it in some vinegar and some dish soap, and you just let it sit there.
Well, I just did dish soap. I just kind of like washed it up. I mean, I feel like the lighting's everything because I don't know how like bright and transparent it's supposed to be, but
nah, dude, it's always
like, it looks fine.
So those are the new like fidget cubes.
I think it is. I think it is, and I'm glad we got something like this coming back because like
that was always like a status symbol, dude. If you had one of those, you were the coolest kid.
Yeah. And I swear I'd always like hop on pretty late, but when I hopped on,
you hopped on the hardest.
You were
that dude, and everyone's like, "Whoa, where'd this come from?"
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like with Rainbow Loom, dude. I may have hopped on like halfway through, but when I was on, I was on.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
You were that dude.
Yeah, and same. I mean, I didn't really have any crazy fidget spinners, but best believe, like,
yeah, dude. I think I was always more of a quality instead of quantity guy. So I'm like, all right, I don't want 10 of them. I just give me 3 really cool ones that I wanted, and that was all. That was it. That's all I wanted.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else. Like, I think the first one that I was really on that like was Minecraft.
Did you ever remember? Okay, right. We're gonna switch it. One more thing. Do you ever remember like the little magnetic like metal balls, and you could build stuff? Like
I don't know. I'm
and
curious.
you could like the little magnetic balls, and you could like build houses and like the cubes. There's like ASMR videos of people slicing them with cards. Those are big at my school. If you had those.
I think I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was cool. But okay, Minecraft, dope. We're shifting that. Or
yeah. So what happened with Minecraft was at my daycare. There was this dude, Mr. Allen, the coolest guy, right? Okay. He would always he's always like super tapped in. He had like those gaming magazines that had like new games.
He knew what was up.
So he always was like ahead. And Minecraft, it was like still in its beta. I don't know what year it was, like 2010, 11, like whatever. Whenever it like finally came out, it was like I had been playing it already. Like
that's insane.
And I remember kids being like, "Oh, Elijah, like that's that Minecraft kid. Like all he does is play Minecraft. Yeah, he's obsessed with Minecraft."
But I bet when they got on, they were looking to you to help him do everything.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Well, it was crazy because they're like, "Oh, that's Elijah. Like he's that." I was the Minecraft kid before the Minecraft kid was born. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it was crazy.
Bro, that 1 week you spend, the 1 or 2 weeks you spend grinding with all your buddies, trying to do the things, that is the greatest memories. Just to know, like one day you're gonna all wake up and go, actually, I don't want to touch this world anymore.
Yeah, and that's like in high school, we had a world like I want to say it was my junior year that I got on like after everybody, and I had like found a corner of the world that like nobody was at. I like found a ravine, and what I ended up doing was building my base inside the ravine.
Oh, that's cool.
But I like what do you call it? Like when you form, like I built like a hill over it. Okay. So I hid all of it.
That's
like
crazy.
You can't you actually cannot find it.
Dude, because I was always that kid where like if we're playing on a server together, I'm gonna have a couple hidden chests that you don't know about to hide my great stuff. Because I don't. We might be friends, but I don't trust nobody in Minecraft.
Dude, I hid that base so well, and then going down to bedrock, I made tunnels to everybody's base.
Yeah, you're like, I want to be able to like. It's always about like war. It was like, look, we're all friends right now, but and
I'm like,
if this thing goes,
if somebody finds my base and they try to start anything, I have a tunnel going to your base. Under it. And then a chest filled with TNT under your base. Like watch out.
Like it was the knowledge that like if the war was gonna start, what is it? Odin said a good king must never seek out war, but must always be ready for it.
Yeah.
I never wanted stuff to happen, but if stuff had to happen, bro, I could make one light with a flint and steel and your base is done.
That's it.
And
that's it.
End of the world. Yeah. Everyone would be pissed at each other, but you would have come out the winner.
My downfall was this kid, John, who had like, I guess at the start of the world, they had made like I don't know if they hacked the game or modded it or whatever, but he had this like sword. No, I don't even think it was a sword. I swear it was like a stick. But you know how like enchantments go up to like 5?
Yeah, like
they don't really
5 and stuff.
It was like 20.
Dude, yeah.
He
hacked it.
He would like go up to like cows and get like a stack of cooked steak. And that was my downfall because he'd come up to like one tap me.
Yeah,
everything.
No, I think John was a cheater. That's what I'm doing.
But and the other thing was like I would be crouching in my base and he'd still find me.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, dude, I'm underground. I'm crouching and I'm like so many blocks away from you. Like there's no way you should have been able to find me.
Dude, I'm getting the itch to get the Minecraft grind back on.
Dude, I'm going on over the summer. Like my friend Lucy that I was talking about earlier, the one that lives in Colorado, that she goes to Creighton. Mm-hmm. She was like,
is Lucy in my grade?
No, she's in my grade. But she was like, dude, Elijah, like we got to get on Minecraft and Roblox this summer. Well, and I'm like, dude, We are getting on Minecraft and Roblox this summer.
Well, let me know if you want to get on Minecraft. I'd play. I'd light up a little world. With you.
I'm so down. Like I got Bedrock and I've got Java.
I play whatever Xbox One plays.
Yeah, I think that's Bedrock. So I've got both.
Bet.
Yeah, right. I'm down. I got to get used to the computer one again, but because that's Java. But yeah, I'm fully down. Like I love Minecraft.
Dude, it's great, and I love how it was kind of like Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
At the beginning, everyone was like, "Oh, you're that Fortnite kid," but then when you became good at it, you're like, everyone's like, "Okay, well, that kid's
like
cool now."
We need him. Yeah. That's it. It feels good. It really does.
100%.
But there was a point because, like I said, I was on it for so long that like I was kind of like ahead of the curve. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then when updates started coming out. Updates, and then like when Microsoft bought it, it was Microsoft, right?
I believe so.
When Microsoft bought it, it kind of like killed it for me. Like,
yeah, dude, I don't know if it's me being old, but I just don't like updates. Like,
yeah, me neither.
Let's keep things, up to code. But why do we have to change stuff? Like, it's like kind of with phones. Like, nothing was wrong with the button. I loved a good button. You hear the clicky sound, but we don't need to keep updating stuff.
Like, I like the thumbprint button. You know what I mean? Like, what happened to that?
That was great. No, I wish we could get that back more than the Face ID. Because, no.
Face ID, like, I wake up in the morning.
Dude,
and
I'm
wearing my glasses.
I'm in a situation right now where my Face ID doesn't register and I can't change it because I need my old Face ID to register a lock I have on it. But because my old Face ID doesn't work, I can't change it. So I have to keep entering my pass. It's one of those things I don't have to call Apple.
I'm just done with
yeah,
Apple.
Done.
Apple. Yeah, but I'm not. I refuse to get an Android. That's the thing.
It's like the status symbol of having an Apple. I want to have it, but I'm getting annoyed with Apple.
Yeah. I'm so done with Apple. Like my AirPods stopped charging. Like it's so stupid. Like I have to jam the cord into the slot and like hold it there for it to start charging. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Hot take, that might be a cleaning issue. I know because I was is it one of those things where it has to set at the right angle?
Not really angle, but it just needs to be like in there.
Dude, that might be like a cleaning issue. Next time try to like get some tweezers and just try to look down there.
Yeah. That might be what it is. I have Beats, so I've been wearing my Beats everywhere. And honestly, I kind of like it. I prefer it because like
I got the Studio 4s. I like the over the ear more than anything.
I have Studio 3s, but it's still over the ear.
Yeah, I can't do the in ear. It just feels weird.
I hate it. Hurts my ears.
Right? Do you, especially like the noise canceling? Do you get like headaches? Have you ever tried that?
From noise canceling?
Yeah, from like noise canceling.
Not really,
dude. I can't do noise canceling.
Yeah, I got to start drinking more water, dude, because I keep getting headaches all the time.
Dude, water's great. We got a water bottle from just like the scholarship. Man, I've drinking so much water in the last couple weeks. It's like a hydro jug. Apparently, those are what the new kids are using.
It's like the thing. Like people are just like, oh, I drink so much water. Like,
no,
watch out for me. I'm the guy that drinks a lot of water.
It's scary because it's a water jug, but I also control what goes in there. So it could also be like a root beer mug.
Yeah, root beer. Yeah,
root beer. And so it's just terrifying. If I do anything with water, it's gonna have to just stay water. That's kind of what's gonna have to be. Because if I make that switch,
then it's over.
It's over. I don't know what else I could put in there.
Yeah. I know, like in high school, I tried putting like protein powder and stuff, and it just
doesn't clean right, dude. It just builds.
Yeah, it's like a chocolate protein powder. I was just like, oh,
gross.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but hey, man, it's been a great episode. I think we're at about an hour 20.
Really?
I could be wrong.
Oh, dude, I feel like we've been longer.
Really?
Stop it. Have we actually been longer? Has it only been one time? I feel like we've been at least 2 hours talking.
Really?
What time is it?
It's 1:30.
Oh, damn. No, you're probably right at about an hour.
Yeah, because I think we started around like 12:15.
Yeah, that's crazy. We hit some crazy topics, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is how it always happens. I mean, so for real.
I mean, starting off the book and now we ended up on Minecraft.
And water. Well, we were talking about like board games.
Then Minecraft. That's just like natural possession of what was like book, accomplishments, family, kids, dreams, kids, games, board games. Like they're just a natural progression.
Yeah. And thanks for doing that recap because genuinely I couldn't do their
Yeah, it's like games.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's real. That's like most conversations I feel like we have in the world take those unexpected turns.
And that's what I like. I mean, I hate like the scripted podcast. It's like, dude, I'm like, I know you don't really care about that. Like that question, like, did you really come up with that? Or is that like written down on your lap? Like,
yeah, just like looking into it. Time to close, you know.
Yeah. And then they close it. I don't know, but it's whatever suits you. And I'll keep listening to podcasts till I die.
Oh,
like
100%. I need something to I need something to go to sleep with.
But yeah, with this, man, like I really appreciate you getting on. I love your perspectives on all of that stuff. I learned a lot about you.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely gonna take a lot of that stuff away. Like genuinely. I don't know. I feel like you and I have like this interesting friendship, and I want to see like how it grows.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things where it's like I don't think that we're normal friends. I think it's because we're both trying to chase something pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's always that mutual respect of, okay, what he's doing I respect, what I'm doing I respect. A lot of the topics I think I touched on, though, not too many kids, not too many people our age can really understand what it's like to have a product, to have something be so personable, be so personal to ourselves, right?
Yeah.
When people just see it's a podcast, it does look like a podcast from the outside, but to you, it's really personal because that's your project, that's your baby, right? Same thing with the book. So I think it's cool in that we can relate on things that not too many people
and it's
can relate to us.
It's not even like it's something that displays who you are, and it's authentic to you. Like you said, it's authentic to you.
Yeah, 100%. You can't really copy it, and if you do, you got to make it yourself somehow.
It's different than just like, oh, here's like this. I'm at a blank right now, but I can't like some project. Like we're putting ourselves out there on a platform that like people can see. Oh, it's
being vulnerable.
This is who you are.
We're both being real vulnerable with our things that we're doing, and I think that's, again, it adds that mutual respect of like, okay, dude, I understand what that's like. I respect that. That adds another layer to the friendship, I think.
Yeah, and that like it's priceless. Genuinely, like. I don't think like I haven't really met many people like that, so
it's
I really
it's
appreciate
definitely cool.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. You too.
Yeah. So with that, I think that's
it.
Yeah, I think that's it. So thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Goalsful Podcast. If you enjoyed, drop that like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're listening on Spotify, make sure to follow, give us a good review, drop a good comment, because I do read those if you are listening. And thank you guys so much for making it to the end.